Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 12th and final episode of the 4th season of Senki Zesshou Symphogear. So, last time, Hibiki absorbed the divine power and became a chrysalis that she emerged from as a large and powerful being that wasted no time destroying various stuff. But of course, even before she emerged, there was already talk of firing weapons of mass destruction. Not a panicky thing or anything. But yeah, of course, even after the situation was resolved, they still wanted to and did fire the weapons of mass destruction. I assume it was because they were still salty about the whole satellite destruction thing. Just get over it already. But yeah, Miku was actually brought in to help, calm her down, get her back to normal. Because, if anyone can do it, she can. They also tied up Hibiki and fired her with shots in her chest and butt. Both cheeks, mind you. Which didn't have that much effect, but like I said, Miku, her waifu slash warm sunshine, was able to get through to her. And like I said, everything did work out in the end. But, the weapons of mass destruction were fired, and Germain stepped up, and with the help of Cagliostro and Pulati, I'm trying to remember those names, which we assumed were dead, but apparently they were still alive, I guess. And because they sacrificed themselves, they were able to stop it. So, that kind of sucks. I was hoping that Germain would become one of the main characters for next season, but apparently not. But yeah, of course Adam is still around. And Hibiki wasted no time just punching him. I think it was like exactly 1 minute or something. But that was pretty much how the episode ended, so... And that was all on Hibiki's birthday, mind you. Which I thought was pretty fitting, her birthday, and she was emerging from the chrysalis, which is kind of like birth. I think that was an intentional thing. But regardless, that's enough time spent on the intro, so let's get into it. As usual, there'll be no audio or footage of the anime used in the reaction for copyright reasons. There's a timer in the upper left-hand corner, and subs below me that'll be follow along. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. And we're starting from here. Yeah, right around the time where you actually do die. Doesn't get much more pitiful than that. Of course, starting from here means we should be able to see that punch again. And I will never get tired of watching Hibiki punch bad guys. It's like half the enjoyment of the show. And his hand is also in his hand. I do hope Adam dies this episode. The most useful thing Tiki's done in this entire series. And now it's gonna beat the crap out of you. Not looking so hot now, are you? And Nico's still around. No matter how strong you are, there will always be some things you can't do anything about. Yeah. Well, what you can do is kill Adam. Maybe Tiki while you're at it. Yeah, you don't want to get on Hibiki's bad side right now. I strongly disagree that he's perfect, but even if he was, he's still outmatched, outnumbered. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon on that one, but here we go. Honestly, summoning the notes are kind of a waste of time, but the villains keep doing it. That's a combo attack. Yeah, in this show, definitely. Pretty much every villain in this show has had their own strong beliefs that they made no secret. It always comes back to that. I really should have a counter for how many times she says that. His Dragon Ball Z-esque attacks. Yeah, but did it actually do anything? I mean, he only has one arm. It shouldn't be that bad. Okay, again, I spoke too soon. Again, strongly disagree on the perfect part. I don't know, but it's probably not even his final form. More of a demon than a puppet, it looks like. It's pretty simple, you're backed into a corner. Yeah. You really shouldn't look away in the middle of a fight. Not that punching your opponent when they're not looking is all that brilliant of a strategy. But a good question, why is that phone even there? I thought the presence of that ancient-looking phone was weird to begin with. Oh yeah, we saw that drop. I should have known that would come into play with how it showed it. Or you could do that. Anything's possible for Symphogear users. When I heard singing at first, I thought we were going to go to another swan song. We don't need any more of those this season. What they need to do to defeat you. You can't witness what's not there. Somehow I doubt that did anything. We're getting back to the missile riding. That was so cool when Chris did that earlier in the season. Well, they said I wouldn't be able to handle that very well. Don't they always? That thing really is creepy looking. Yeah, who needs that when you have giant missiles? Yeah, it's not the time for that. Come on, Hibiki. They don't call you the conceptual god-killing weapon for nothing. She has their power now. We'll see how long you remain laughing. Well, you gave her your power, didn't you? Of course he just gets bigger. But he doesn't have the most crucial power of all, the power of friendship. Yeah. We've been out with that early in the series. The fact that she doesn't have a weapon is so she could hold people's hands. Something like that. How many eyes does he even have? She's out of her gear. I strongly don't recommend being out of your gear in this situation. Oppose oppression. Come on, Hibiki, you. There we go. Wow. No, but she's Tachibana Hibiki. That counts for a lot. And that is some really cool looking armor. Just keep punching him until he dies. That strategy has never failed before. 10,000 punches later. Double fisting. I think it was exactly the opposite. Of course he has to self-destruct. Don't jinx it, man. I mean, I was half expecting him to regenerate. I mean, I still prefer the Ignite module black armor, but that still looked really cool. I know, right? You've been working like non-stop the entire season. Yes, Hibiki. So far. I'm sure they do. Of course he would think that. Because having powerful Symphogear users just isn't enough, I guess. Yeah, the birthday wasn't exactly happy. 17. I wasn't sure how old she was. Oh man. They really splurged on this party. Oh? She just feeds her. Yeah, I do remember the tomato lady that they saved. And the budget ran out and we're back to still frames. It's good to see he's doing well. What are you doing? That is not in any way stable. Yeah, as always. As you've done many times. I mean, you've done pretty well for 4 seasons. They better not be raising a death flag, because I would riot if they killed off Miku. Yeah, the birthday party is still going on. That was a pretty good way to end the season. Hibiki finally got to celebrate her birthday party. And it looks like there's nothing after the credits. And I know this episode technically came out several hours ago, but it did so in the middle of the night for me, so I'm not really going to react to something in the middle of the night, especially when I'm living with other people. There's already a MyAnimeLIst page for the 5th season, so you don't really have to say anything like, I hope there's another season, because there's going to be. Oh. A reason besides the fact that she's the protagonist? Makes sense. Hmm. I think I remember that scene. Oh, Miku was as well, wasn't she? If that's the scene I think it is. Miku. Man, Miku just looks so happy right there. Yeah. To be continued, which we already knew. So, yeah. That was the 12th and final episode of Senki Zesshou Symphogear AXZ. And like I said, it was a pretty good final episode. Seems like Adam was destroyed in the end, which, makes me happy. I strongly disliked Adam from the moment he appeared. Floating in the sky, butt naked, spirit bombing the place, Not exactly great first impression. But yeah, of course, among all the bad guys, he was the true bad guy. The others kind of redeemed themselves in the end there. And I do think Jermaine could have become a member of the group, similar to what Maria's group did, but, that wasn't possible, obviously, which is very unfortunate. I did kind of like her. And, yeah. Of course, at the end there we learn why Hibiki was able to absorb the divine power. Apparently she no longer had the original sin because it was purged from her because of that one beam of light they was shot at. I think the scene that they were talking about was when Miku was temporarily a Symphogear user. I don't remember too much about that. I think Miku was like an enemy or something during that part. I really don't remember much about that. But I do remember Miku was temporarily a Symphogear user. I just don't remember how that ended or how that even happened. But I do remember it happened. So yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist there. I don't know how exactly that's going to come into play later, but they kind of acted like it would be a plot point in the next season. Like with the emphasis they put on the fact that Miku also had that happen to her. Like that zoom in towards Miku. Like that's definitely going to come into play. But yeah, my thoughts on the season as a whole. Like, this is the 4th season of a series that I've enjoyed since season 1. I've enjoyed all the seasons. I don't really know how I'd rate them. I don't remember them individually and not well enough to rate them amongst each other. But I did enjoy all of them. They were all pretty much solid 9 out of 10s for me, which is pretty much what this one is as well. This season, pretty much Elf9 was the MVP. Like, she pretty much spent the entire season doing research, working on things. Like, we had her working on the linker for Shirabe and their whole group, which also worked on the anti-leaker that they shot Hibiki with. She even went into Maria's head to come up with the method of creating the linker, discover the secret to that, and everything. And of course, also having to deal with the Philosopher's Stone being, the incompatibility thing with the Ignite module. She also had to work on that. And probably other stuff I just can't remember off the top of my head. She has been busy pretty much the entire season. And there was also the subplot with Chris and her working out her issues, which she eventually did. I don't really have a lot to say on that, but aside from good for her, I guess. But, yeah. We learned a little bit about Shirabe's backstory, about how that wasn't her real name, how that one shrine guy probably is involved with that she might be his granddaughter. They didn't really address that anymore after initially, but yeah, we might get more into that later. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, the highlight of the series has always been the over-the-top action, which we got plenty of this time. It definitely did not disappoint in that regard. So yeah, looking forward to the next season. So let me know what you thought of the anime. Which thought of my reaction in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.